Situated in the far back corner of Studston City is the Studston City InstaCare Medical Center. This custom-made creation is probably the oldest complete building on my layout, and yet one of the, in that respect, sadly does not have its own video. Well, that's about to change. Let's get started. Of course, it'd probably help if I pulled some of these vehicles and the train out of the way, for example, and also if I dusted the building. That's kind of dusty. That's a lot better. That's clean. Got some space. I can actually, first of all, you can actually see the building, and I can actually move the camera around. Let's go ahead and let's get in closer then and look at the details of the exterior and in the interior of the building. To start, in terms of my least favorite side, this is really part of the build that is more or less pretty gnarly. It's designed to fit up against the building, and I don't know if I can get this in the shot. Yeah, you can see how there's just this area over here should have a building actually. I'm going to build one there eventually, so I'll have to make sure I cover that up. In fact, this little bit right here is just that was a coverage for some stuff. That nastiness behind there, so that's what that's covering up, because originally there was a little open space here. Now, of course, going from my least favorite side to my favorite side, the front is a pretty fun little design. Architecture I really love, just the simple, the geometric with a little bit of accented, stylized, natural inspiration of architecture. My least favorite area would definitely have to be the windows over here, as these windows are they're just flat and plain, but quite literally, as you'll see later, there is no space on the inside for me to recess these in or anything. Moving around, we got a couple of doors in the front, all the essentials there, and of course we have the drop-off lane area, and that has got a really cool awning. I'll get up and show you guys in just a second, but it has some other details, and there's also a sliding door in here. I don't know if that's the best angle to be showing you to this guy's at, but there you go. There's the sliding door. As you can see, it's a really fun design here. Just glass panels, a lot of hinges. I can actually kind of sneak you underneath. Hopefully that kind of allows you to see the construction underneath there. The back is designed to be able to be looked at, but really it's just so like I can run trains back here. For example, that's pretty unsightly, and this is more for the interior than the exterior. Again, windows, but it does work. The roof is a really fun area of the build. Going over here, we have, of course, some communications. We also have two signages that allow you to identify what kind of building this is. That's good. There's also one on the front if you didn't notice that before. Got some HVAC hanging out on the roof here too. Elevator equipment stuff, because there's an elevator in this. It's got some gauges and some levers in there. It does work. Of course, there's the crank handle for the elevator. And if I pull the actual elevator shaft out, coming back here, I'm able to just pull it straight up, and that's essentially the elevator right there. It's pretty unsightly on the inside, really. Yeah, definitely not the most amazing. You can kind of realign the strings so you can tilt it freely so it can realign. So let me pull that section out of the way, and we'll pull the roof off so we can get to the interior. That's the fun part. Very interesting view would definitely have to be down the elevator shaft. That's kind of interesting, but I want to get this roof off, so let's do that. The interior of the second floor, and of course you can get the nature of the open air lobby. It's the second floor, and sneak down even farther towards the first floor. Kind of a fun bird's eye view. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this floor off though. I'm gonna come back to it because I want to work on the first floor and go up. This one actually sits on there. There's no connecting studs. Behind with is a bunch of first floor height walls, and also the front facade. These two corners. This corner over that gray section, that's actually supposed to be a water fountain. There's some little water in the basin. Of course, a couple chairs. Guy walking in, and there's a couple chairs there, and the TV on the wall. Gotta have that TV, right? And then over on this side, can you see it? Yeah, there's a couple more chairs, and there's the caution striping patterning for the sliding door on the outside, and there's that sliding door in action. Into that corner, that hallway leads to a restroom. You can kind of see down in there. Sorry, that's the most awkward part of the build. It doesn't have a removable roof or anything, but there's a full functional restroom in there. I think you can see enough of it. Alright, coming in from the lobby, the main and only way to get back is through this door, which is privacy door, and this leads you back into the patient area, the receptionist desk, and we have the patient incoming side here, and then this is a counter for paying, like you're paying your checkout fee when you're going out. In this corner, there's the the funness of the pharmacy. It's very tight in here, as you can see. Got some shelves with some different various things. Cupboards are completely empty. There's also a stool down in there that can be posed around on those jumpers. I'm not going to actually pull that out. Actually, in post thought. In the bottom, there is a bottle being filled up. There's a couple more bottles being used for whatever reasons. A couple more hanging out in that corner, and then there's a very, very, very badly simulated scale computer over here, and a very kind of almost bad counter. That's not my favorite counter. This is an operating room, and this is probably a good thing that this whole apparatus can hinge upward, because that would be really tight, even though it's already tight, including for me filming this right now. But I'm working against the wall. We got a sink and some monitors. Got an attendant who's doing nothing right now. That's gonna help that guy a lot. This is actually just kind of sitting in there. It's just on a dock. Then this is a crash cart. Defibrillator pads and the defibrillator itself. I'm hoping I'm using the right vocabulary words there. And some drawers of some sort on there for something. And yeah, in this wall there's actually an emergency light for in case the power goes out. Here we have 3 identical doctor's offices. This is a blood pressure monitor. In the corner there's a stool. You can kind of see the bed in there. That again is a really tight view. You can see part of the bed, and then coming around you can see the cupboards and the sink. Getting off the elevator, we end up on this mezzanine style balcony area. The railing is custom built. It's kind of a fun technique, just using a bunch of clips. It's also kind of fragile in some spots, so I try not to mess with it too much. The break area for mostly actually for the workers here at the doctor's office, with 3 chairs around a very simplistic table, and it's trying to be a magazine rack. Again, very simplified. Heading over to the lab, we got a computer, we got some racks of stuff, and then a scanning machine of some sort. That's kind of a fun shot. You can kind of get in there. We have the x-ray room, the panel for putting x-rays up after to develop them. And here we got another emergency light. Got a curtain that can drop in front of the window to keep completely dark in the room. And this is the pull tab for it. There's also these are blank x-rays that can be developed. Machinery, control panel stuff, again faking it till you make it. Swivel chair. And here I got a sink and cabinetry. A kind of like a patient bed-ish modified, and then there's there's another stool. If I come back, this is the actual x-ray machine itself. It can rotate, it can also slide up and down, which I'm not going to try to do, but yeah, that can slide back and forth. We got more of those patient rooms, again identical, so I'm not even going to worry about them. Then we have this tiny doctor's office. I actually probably will rebuild it one of these days to cover that area, because it kind of makes no sense to have this sit like that. I think it'd be fine to do that. I have patient chair, doctor's chair, and then a desk with a computer with a mouse, so he's really special, I guess, and a organizer and some drawers on the desk. Yeah, I really wanted to make it bigger so I can maybe put a plush chair for patients or something, because when you gotta break the bad news, you gotta break the bad news, and all that you can do is hopefully that good. Wasn't too awkward of a video. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go because I've held your attention for long enough. If you don't mind, go ahead and please check out other content, and don't forget to like and subscribe.